speaker bureaus can not only get you higher fees, but they can also get you booked by the right type of clients and take all that horrible admin stuff off of your shoulders. When the relationship works, your business is going to fly to the stars. Sounds great? How do we make it happen? Today's guest has spent 23 years, amazing, working in running international speaker bureaus. She will be sharing some insights into what it takes to get listed and work with bureaus. Yes, Maria Franzoni is in the hot seat this week. Welcome, Maria.
Be gentle with me, James.
I will, absolutely. So, bureaus is one of my favorite topics. What is the benefit of being represented by a speaker bureau?
There's lots, but let me give you two or three to start off with. So, bureaus, as you know, because you work very successfully with bureaus, tend to attract more qualified clients. And the clients that they attract tend to stay with them and work with them regularly. So, they have a great relationship with their clients. And what do I mean by qualified? I mean clients that actually have decent budgets and are prepared to pay for the value that speakers bring, which is really important. Speaker Bureau staff spend their time booking speakers. That's what they do. So they are really skilled at it. It's what they do all day long. They are booking speakers. They're maybe dealing with the briefing calls. They're dealing with the follow-up. They're doing the prospecting, sending proposals. This is all they do. They're not distracted by having to go and deliver any speeches. They're focused, totally focused on that one thing. And as you know, the more you do one thing, the better you get at it, right? And then another one, which I think is really important to speakers, is they collect the money in advance, which, you want to be sure that you're going to be paid. Bureaus get paid before you speak, and they hold on to the money for you on your behalf. They deal with all those horrible contract negotiations, things like withholding taxes, with all the different VATs, suppliers getting set up as a supplier, arguing with those long scale payment schedules. So there's a lot of advantages, and there's much, much more, but those are three that immediately come to mind.
Now, I'm going to make a list here because I'll have done pretty much all of these. What are the biggest mistakes speakers make when it comes to working with speaker bureaus? I'm going to tick them off as I hear all these mistakes I've made.
Do you know, I don't think you've made any of these mistakes actually, James, because obviously we've worked together when I was running my bureau, so I know exactly how you work very well with bureaus. So first of all, I think the biggest mistake that speakers make, and it's the same mistake they make if they're working directly with clients or prospects. So please don't do this, but you assume that every bureau is the same and that they have exactly the same interests, exactly the same end client, exactly the same fee ranges, and you treat them all the same. You cannot do that. That's the biggest mistake. I would say that the second one is assuming that once you're listed, that's it. You're going to get inundated with bookings. It doesn't happen that way. So sometimes it's unrealistic expectations as well of the bureau. So I think those are the biggest mistakes.
The reason I was told to really kind of get into working with bureaus is my friend Josh Linkner, who's a great speaker, said to me, you have to realize that 75% of the higher paying speaking gigs come via bureaus in one way or the other. So that was the kind of reason I wanted to speak on certain types of stages. And that made sense for me to kind of work with bureaus. But I kind of had to build, I think I now work with 30 different bureaus. Like we've got a new one just started working today called Epic Keynotes, great bureau
I
based in
saw that.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So you got 30, let's say in my case, I've got 30 bureaus. Other people, speakers might have 10 bureaus or even a couple of bureaus. Should you work with lots of bureaus or just limit who you work with to maybe to one or to two?
It depends. It's very difficult to give a black and white answer. It depends. If you are looking to work internationally, you are better off having bureaus that represent you in the various territories that you want to be working, because they have a knowledge of that territory. They're in that place. They can meet with the clients. They know what's going on for the clients. They have a better knowledge. Or an international bureau that has offices in different areas. So then you would need more than one bureau. When you're starting out as well, you don't know which bureau is going to be the one that, or the two or the three that are going to book you regularly. So you
Yeah.
say you work with 30 bureaus. I guarantee that not all 30 of them are booking you a lot, and some may book you just once. It's exactly the same as clients. You're going to have 80% of your turnover is going to come from 20% of the bureaus that represent you. So probably 6 of your bureaus give you the majority of your business. You're nodding at me. So depending on
Yeah.
how much you need in terms of business and how many bookings you need per year, that will dictate how many bureaus you need to be listed with. And then as you work with them, you'll see.
So how do you get the speaker bureau? Let's say you're with a speaker bureau, and when we talk about speaker bureaus, I kind of feel it's like when you say you work with a client, a corporate client. You don't really work with a client. You work with those individuals that are there. You have it as a personal, it's a relationship. So how do you? Let's say you've got a bureau relationship. It could be with the owner, agent of that company. It could be with an individual agent, a territorial agent, for example. How do you get them to book you more?
Well, that's the big question. How do you get booked more? And there's a lot that you can do, but let me give you a couple of tips. The thing for me is once a speaker is on the roster, that speaker needs to be easy to work with.
Mhm.
So I need you as a speaker, or I needed you when I was in my bureau, I need you to be responsive really fast. So you know this because you have a lot of direct inquiries as well. You know that when a client comes to you looking for a speaker, or when they go to a bureau looking for a speaker, they might come at 10 o'clock in the morning, and by midday, they want all the suggestions. They want to know what their fees are, and they want to know if they're available and how they're going to tackle the topic. You don't necessarily have access to all the speakers' diaries and calendars, and you don't necessarily have access to all of the speaker topic descriptions, etc., if it's
Mhm.
slightly different from the norm. So you're now relying on these speakers to come back to you super fast. And what happens is you'll go out, they probably want 4 or 5 suggestions. You'll probably go out to 10 people in the hope that 4 or 5 will come back to you in time. And those are the ones you'll include. So that for those occasions where you've got to be really fast, get the answers, you know who you can go to straight away. And the ones that will get booked again and again and again are the ones who've got some kind of process or system to come back to you super fast,
Yeah.
whether they're able to do it or whether they have some kind of support. That gets difficult the busier you get. You do have to have that kind of support. But so that's make it really
There-
easy for bureaus
There's
to work
that
with you.
line, time kills deals. I've
It
seen it
does.
happen with I've actually I've taken work from other speakers in the past because we've got, like you said, like systems. We've got other members of the team. It's not just me that, and I'm on WhatsApp with everyone in addition to emails. And those 6 bureaus I work with intensely, we're messaging with each other pretty much every day. So there's that speed. So now you've got an event coming up, I know, really soon, a seminar really soon. So maybe kind of talk about that, because I think often when we find it's not necessarily that the speaker isn't a great speaker, but there's a lack of what we call product market fit in the startup world, and it's not quite hitting. And I think it's actually one of your USPs, Maria, is that you're very, very good because you know the market very well, but you're also good at knowing us quirky speakers very well, and that we have a passion for this topic. But you kind of like got to find that. So tell us a little bit about the seminar.
Okay, well, the seminar you're talking about is actually very much focused about, working with and getting booked more by speaker bureaus. There's lots of things that I think speakers will find useful. We're going to look at managers, agents, and bureaus, which are all different, so that you can identify who should you be working with, who are your partners, how the speaker bureaus work, and then, of course, how to get listed with bureaus. Whether you're listed already or whether you want to get listed with more, it's important to know how to go about that. And then if you're on the roster, now what? The questions that all speakers have. How do I stay connected without pestering? How do I get booked more once I'm booked? How do I create a partnership with a bureau? People will come away also with a "Are you speaker bureau ready?" checklist, which I think that will make life a lot easier, because you can literally tick the boxes and say, no, I need that, I need this, I need to do that.
So this event, this seminar you're doing didn't exist when I got started. So I wish it had, because I would be signing up for it if it had existed then.
You're very kind. Thank you, James.